Coming up in the morning edition, the nation breathes a sigh of relief. The Bahamas avoids a financial blacklist. Social Services says it is challenged with cases of incest. And Suncash partners with water and sewerage. Keep calm, you are in the middle of the week. There are just 2 more days until the weekend. Welcome to the morning edition. I'm LaDawn Davis. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean is going to give you a look at today's weather. Good morning, Basil.
Good morning, LaDawn. We have a frontal boundary, a weak one that's maneuvering through the northwest Bahamas, practically unnoticed. All of the shower activity well to the west of us, and save for the wind, which has picked up overnight to around 15 to 20 knots. Outside of our studios, we have partly cloudy skies. Your temperature 75 degrees, relative humidity 73%, winds east-northeast at 14 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,018.0 millibars, that's 30.06 inches, and it is steady. Temperatures around the islands this morning: Marsh Harbor 72, Greentoll Key at 71, 71 in Freeport, Grand Bahama, the Berry Islands 73, Allenstown, Bimini 74 degrees, 74 also in Harbor Island, Roxani, Lutra, and Otterstown, Cat Island. Stanley Key as well, and that extends right into Kemp Space, St. Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Land. There's more 74s showing up in San Salvador and Rum Key, in Ragged Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, McGowan, and Acklands, all at 75. Matchy Town in Nago 74 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands 74. Your boating forecast for today in the northwest and central islands: northeast to east winds 15 to 20 knots, and that means small craft should exercise caution throughout the northwest and central Bahamas today. Wave heights, they're going to be around 4 to 7 feet, with your low tide taking place at 6:24 this morning. High tide in the afternoon at 12:14 for the southeast Bahamas. Northeast to east winds 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your first look at weather, the morning edition. Stay tuned. Your forecast for today and tonight is still ahead.
Thanks, Basil. The drones are in the east this morning with Vaughn Aubrey, who is standing by with the traffic report.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
We're along Prince Charles Drive. That drone shot you see of traffic already backed up heading west into town. Well, we are at the intersection of Commonwealth Boulevard, which is Elizabeth Estates, and behind me, which is Tulip Boulevard, which is Eastwood Estates. And indeed, there is a lot of traffic. I didn't know it was like this. I don't live in the east, but I can tell you 1 minute makes a difference. With me, Sergeant Jerome Thompson of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Traffic this bad all the time?
Yes, it's just bad all the time in the eastern area, especially this Prince Charles Drive on the eastern road.
And indeed, traffic has started already before 7 a.m. And in 1 minute, I mean literally 1 minute, traffic was flowing, and the next minute, traffic was backed up. Now, is this intersection a problem?
Yes, this is the intersection of Prince Charles Drive and Tulip Boulevard, also Commonwealth Boulevard. We have issues, especially if you notice this is a dual carriageway. Yes, indeed.
Behind me, Tulip Boulevard coming out of Eastwood Estates is a 2-lane. It's actually 4 lanes, but 2 lanes, and coming out of it, heading onto Prince Charles, persons are using both lanes.
Yes, persons are using both lanes. The lane west, to the very west, coming out of Tulip Boulevard, that is the traffic that is going to travel west onto Prince Charles Drive.
And the left lane should be?
Either you go straight ahead on the Commonwealth Boulevard, or you will go east onto Prince Charles Drive. What we have persons in the eastern lane doing, in the left lane, they would try to bully their way out of the Tulip Boulevard onto the Prince Charles Drive area, which causes a massive backup. But traffic coming out of Tulip Boulevard first and foremost, and then secondly, traffic on Prince Charles Drive. So the persons who are traveling east, they will never get any relief. So sometimes we have to send officers in this area to monitor traffic.
Indeed. Don't break the law when you're coming out of Eastwood. It's 1 lane to go west. It's 1 lane to go west. And that is on the western side coming out onto Prince Charles. Like I said, traffic is already backed up here. Any incidents overnight?
We had 12 accidents in the last 24-hour period, one of which involved an accident with injury. Just happened in the area of Golden Gates Assembly Church on Carmichael Road, overturned vehicle. The person was treated on scene and released.
Hit and run?
We had 2 hit-and-run accidents.
Wow. Hit and run, that's a problem for police and problem for most of us. Remember to drive safely along the streets. And this traffic out here, LaDawn, this is already thick. Back to you in the studio.
I'm well aware of that one. Thanks a lot. Now on to our top story this morning. The Bahamas was not included on the European Union's list of non-cooperative jurisdictions for tax purposes, which was updated by the EU's Economic and Financial Affairs Council yesterday. This decision was a result of the proactive efforts of the government to safeguard the global competitiveness of the local financial services industry. Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, said the government is very encouraged and pleased by the EU's decision not to include the Bahamas on its latest list of non-cooperative jurisdictions. The decision is a result of a strategic and comprehensive approach by the government's team in consultation with stakeholders. The Prime Minister said he would like to thank the private sector for its valuable contribution and assured the government's commitment to continue to do what is necessary to maintain the standing of the Bahamas as a respected international financial center. Over the past year, the government's strategy to mitigate taxation concerns has enabled the country to be regarded as a partner on international standards of information exchange, tackling harmful tax practices and dismantling artificial tax structures. In other news this morning, following up on the good news for the financial services industry, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable K. Peter Turnquest, told members of the media that there are other pieces of legislation to be brought by government as it pushes to remain compliant in an ever-changing environment.
The Bahamas is not included in any blacklisting today. As you would know, the previous listing on AML and CFT has been delayed or put off. Again, in recognition of the hard work that we've done to ensure that we are compliant and that we meet our commitments with respect to all of our international partners. And this is a very dynamic environment, and things change as standards change, as the evolution of transactions and financial services products comes about. There are different standards that come up to police those kinds of developments, and so I think it would be reasonable to expect that there will be further requirements as we go along. Again, the important thing is that the Bahamas is at the table, and we are in fact participating in the discussions. So we are keeping abreast of the developments and not allowing ourselves to fall behind as we have in the past.
Nonetheless, Mr. Turnquest says there is more work to be done.
Now we move into the implementation phase of all of the legislation that we've put in place, which is going to require significant effort from a number of parties as well as from industry. But as we've demonstrated the whole of 2018, we are up to the challenge, and we are committed to doing what we have to do to ensure that the financial services industry is in fact protected. We have no illusions that this is an industry that is very dynamic, that continues to move as regulations and standards move. We know that there are upcoming initiatives from the EU and the OECD with respect to taxation of digital transactions, for instance, harmonization of value-added tax rates and rules. There's also initiatives on respect to the potential for some kind of minimum taxation internationally. So all of these are issues that are going to be confronting us in the year coming up.
In light of the recent sexual assault on a minor that occurred in Freeport, Grand Bahama, officials from the Social Services Department say they are still challenged with parents engaging in inappropriate behaviors with their children and stepchildren. Chief Welfare Officer Pauline Zonico-Claude says while this is a major issue here in the capital, cases are also increasing in close-knit communities around the Family Islands. Zonico-Claude says the department has been inundated with complaints just about every week.
In the school welfare unit, we may have to remove children because, like I said, of adults behaving inappropriately towards children in the home.
That's inappropriate, you mean?
Sexually or verbal abuse or even physical abuse. Whatever you see we're experiencing in New Providence, I can assure you it's happening in the Family Islands. And I've been made to understand it may be happening to a greater degree because Family Island communities are so closely knit, they don't talk their business, you know. But I believe that there's a lot of inappropriate behavior going on in families in the Family Islands as well, especially incest.
An immigration enforcement team recently carried out Operation Impact in New Providence and arrested a total of 36 foreign nationals, inclusive of 15 Haitians, 9 Jamaicans, 6 Venezuelan nationals, 5 Guyanese, and 1 St. Lucian national who were transported to the detention center on Carmichael Road for further processing. Chief Immigration Officer Harold Thurston, officer in charge of the enforcement unit, led this operation with the combined effort of the department's K-9 unit, the Royal Bahamas Police Force's Southwestern Division, and the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. Now, during this operation, a check was done at Sugar Hill Club on Thompson Boulevard, and a total of 20 females were taken into immigration custody. All of the foreign nationals were charged in court yesterday for various immigration-related offenses. And coming up after the break, March continues to be Police Month. That and more when the Morning Edition comes right back.
Fidelity has the tools you need to make getting out of debt simple. Our debt consolidation loans will help you reduce your monthly payments with a built-in savings plan that earns 5% interest. Fidelity even gives you a financial coach to help you stay on track. Even our credit cards earn reward points that can be used for free travel, hotel stays, Rubis Gas, John Bull, car rentals, and shopping. No need to fall victim to sweet talk. Tell those other banks to simply walk the talk. Call Fidelity today and get the help you really need with a real debt consolidation loan. Fidelity, we're good for you.
The machinery of the government is always working to make the country better for present and future generations. But what does that machinery look like, and how does it really work? Find the answers to these questions and more as you hear directly from this administration's policymakers. Tune in to A Closer Look with Anthony Newbold, Mondays at 8 p.m. and Wednesdays at 9 a.m. on the ZNS Television Network.
Oh, not the cold one.
Busted! Busted! Don't you know you guys are breaking the law by not using your seat belts?
Man, Charlie, man, I'm using my seat belt.
Wrong!
The seat belt is not for opening your alcoholic drink. It is for saving lives. And by the way, for those of you who continue to drink and drive, we're on the lookout for you too.
Officials of the Water and Sewerage Corporation signed off on a 2-year service agreement with Sun Island Transfers, or Sun Cash, on Tuesday. This is to facilitate bill payment and movement of funds paid to the corporation by Family Island customers. Executive Chairman of the Water and Sewerage Corporation, Adrian Gibson, says this is particularly important since several banking institutions have closed their doors on the Family Islands that has led to concerns over the collecting and storing of cash.
Sun Island Transfers will be responsible for the setup of its own locations, will provide its own staff at these locations, will secure its own licenses and approvals, and will be responsible for training their staff as well as our staff with respect to its systems. Sun Island would also be responsible with respect to its marketing and public relations strategies with respect to WSC's collections with the approval of WSC. They are also to ensure security at their locations, establish standard operating procedures with WSC, and ensure that our client database is preserved and protected.
After working out IT issues, Water and Sewerage Management says SunCash will be able to provide payment services starting today. SunCash Chief Operating Officer Barry Malcolm says over the last 18 months, the company has built an extensive network of services throughout the islands and looks forward to the initiative with the Water and Sewerage Corporation.
We're in Inagua, Mayagua, or Crooked Island, four points in Long Island. The whole focus of our strategy is really to be able to serve the islands that have lost vital banking services over the last several years. It's critical to the economic growth and development of the islands. Our focus is on adding as many services, adding as many corporates as we can, so that I, as a customer walking into a Suncash store in Long Island or in Mayagona, can get the same services, whether it's bill payment, whether it's mortgage payment, as I can get in Nassau. So the focus is really delivery, operation, and execution on a B-dollar platform of services countrywide.
The 5-person Air Wing Division of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, led by the Aeronautical Engineer Assistant Superintendent Elvis Curtis, patrols the entire archipelago. Their work aboard the 12-seat, $2.6 million Cessna Caravan includes drug surveillance of drug illegal immigrants, human traffickers, and poachers. They also transport officials and detainees. Chief Pilot Captain Devon Robinson was asked to describe what he sees over New Providence while on patrol.
See over to the west and the southwest of New Providence, a lot of shanty towns, a lot of abandoned cars, stolen vehicles, and that is unseen to the eyes traveling along the roads of the Bahamas. Nassau, that is.
So how do you coordinate the information that you glean from the air to the ground?
Well, we have a high-level communication in our aircraft that we are able to communicate with control room and also the other stations in any division. So I'm able to contact any division and inform them of anything that I see out of the ordinary in the area.
ASP Curtis said all Air Wing personnel are highly qualified and undergo regular on-the-job training and this new addition.
I understand this unit is now integrated.
Yes, it is. We have our first female pilot, Woman Corporal Bodie. She is a first officer here in this aircraft. She's also trained on this equipment. And we want to make sure that the public knows that the Air Wing is not male-dominated. So we have a female, and she's excellent at her job. She's excellent at working. And
for the second time in its history, the Governor General's Youth Award is rolling out its program at the Willie Mae Pratt Center for Girls. The goal is to help at-risk women find a sense of achievement and purpose, ultimately improving their odds for a successful re-entry into their families and communities. A 7-strong cohort comprised mostly of 15 and 16-year-olds were introduced to GGYA last week by Denise Mortimer, the award's national director. Voluntary and non-competitive GGYA is open to anyone aged 14 to 24 years. Bishop, what's coming up in sports?
Well, coming up in sports is a big track meet on the weekend that will be honoring one of our outstanding coaches. And also last night, some controversy in the New Providence Women's Basketball Association, feeling a little down this morning. Jim Anita and Ilka told me that I look like a highlighter with this shade on. I know you wouldn't do that to me.
No, I wouldn't do that to you this morning.
Like I got a marker, so I'm going home after work and I'm going to change this shade, put on something a little darker.
You look like a Gatorade. With that and more ahead in sports.
If you are building or renovating, and if you want a one-stop shop, then We Buy You Sell, your windows and doors specialist, is the place for the highest impact, highest quality, fully laminated hurricane impact windows and doors, lifelong lasting PVC frame with steel in the frame, non-rust mechanism throughout the frame. We also have the best prices on porcelain, plank, and mosaic tiles. Visit We Buy You Sell in the old Hastie's Tile Building on Robinson Road, or call us at 327-6427 or 698-1140.
Hi guys, it's your boy Landlord, the host for Positive TV, the place where we play positive music. And I want you guys to join me every Sunday at 3 p.m. and 11:30 p.m. right here on ZNS TV 13.
Welcome to the best of sports world.
Good morning once again and welcome to Sports, brought to you by this highlight marker. The New Providence Women's Basketball Association Championship Series will be going to a decisive Game 5 come Thursday. Already supposedly up 2-1, BS Trucking Destroyers getting out the gate early on the youthful Foxes. Angels up 46-32 at the half, and they were ready to celebrate this championship as they increased that to 63-49 after 3 and cruised to a 72-59 win. Game 4 was supposed to be the series clinching ring for the BS Trucking Destroyers, only to find out that they used an ineligible player in Game 3, and the game was awarded to the youthful Foxes Angels. Krishanda Raming and Brittany Harrison, leading the Destroyers with 14, will have to wait a day longer if they want to celebrate.
When they take away the game, that will be used to motivate us into this game. We had to come in, we had to work hard, we had to compete against the odds, and I mean, that was a tough one to come back after they take away, but we came out, we competed, we did our job. I mean, it was a great game playing against the younger one. They're very competitive. We came out, we tried to keep the energy high like they had to compete with them, but we wanted to control the game, and we was able to come out on top.
Come Saturday, the second annual DTSP Wolfpack Track and Field Classic in honor of jump coach Peter Pratt will be held at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. The meet will serve as a Carifta qualifying to get an early start at 9 o'clock in the morning. And joining us on the morning edition this morning is Philip Gray. He's the liaison officer for that track club, DTSP. What does that mean?
Dynamic training of speed and power.
So what is shaping up for this coming Saturday?
So Charles, as you can see, I'm still recovering with my voice.
QC.
QC, buddy, QC. I ran to St. John's, but anybody who beat up SAC, I was pulling for. It was an exciting meet, and this weekend, there's going to be an exciting meet, the DTSP Wolfpack Classics, honoring renowned athlete and coach Peter Pratt. It's going to be an awesome time. We expect quite a few Carifta qualifiers or hopefuls to be participating in that meet.
What are the divisions?
So we start with under 7 and going right up to the open category. And there's going to be excitement on the track, but there's a lot of entertainment and activities for the entire family off the track as well. So it's going to be an exciting family day.
And coming off a successful GSSA Championships and the BAISS Championships, and we're just a few weeks away from Carifta, expecting some great performances.
Absolutely. It's going to be very dynamic, and you're going to see some of our qualifiers already, but also persons who are pursuing qualifying for Carifta. So it's going to be an awesome meet. It's really the place to be Saturday.
We've had a lot of meets so far this year. What is going to separate this one from other meets?
Well, I think as the athletes peak for the Carifta Games, you would anticipate that those athletes are going to be faster. It's getting warmer, so it allows the athletes to perform at their maximum potential.
And Peter Pratt, fitting to be on it.
I mean, awesome. If you recall, Peter would have been our first Carifta medalist. And then Peter went on not only in the at the national level, but also around the world, coaching as far as Saudi Arabia and coaching locally, still coaching athletes even today. So, you know, I was talking with telling him about my daughter, and he said, I had the record at her university, University of Northern Iowa. So it just tells you how far-flung his reach has been.
Why such an early start on Saturday, 9 o'clock?
Well, usually the meet is usually at 9 a.m. So that the athletes can get in, participate, and so that we can finish by 6 p.m.
So we're looking forward to that. We want everybody to come on down.
Everybody needs to be there. Get your cowbells, get your jump canoe on, and cheer for your favorite athlete. We call it hunting season, Charles. And so we're going to be hunting. The Wolves going to be hunting for every other club. Just like BISS, the schools compete, but this weekend the clubs will compete.
Well, I hope you get your voice back on Saturday, because I want to hear you screaming and shouting as well, and we'll be down there as well, so people can see some of the highlights of this weekend's track and field meet with Carifta just a few weeks away on the trials.
Yeah, let's go Wolfpack! Woo!
That's going to do it for your morning edition of Sports. Thanks for watching.
For the latest news and highlights in Bahamian culture, tune in to the new Junkanoo 242, Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on the ZNS Radio and Television Network. Radio Bahamas 1540 a.m. on 104.5 FM and TV 13. Each week, host Arlene Nash Ferguson and Darren Bastian engages listeners with some of the movers and shakers of Junkanoo and Bahamian culture. Don't miss Junkanoo 242, Saturday at 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on the ZNS Radio and Television Network.
ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Watch our live channel to keep up with what's going on in the nation. News updates, we've got you covered. Tune into our radio stations with just a swipe. On the road, on the go, we're here with you. Available for download on the App Store and the Google Play Store.
Hey son, listen to these ads. Visit exciting Rome. Gamble at Monte Carlo. Can't you see me now in Monte Carlo drinking with Princess Grace and Prince Rudolph? That's reindeer. Yeah, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
Hey, man, they actually picked you to represent the businessmen of wives. Pop, I'm proud of you. I'm real proud of you.
Thanks, son. Just think. Today, committeeman sent. Then, senator sent. Then, president sent. And then an early retirement at San Clemente.
In our final look at weather, a weak cold front continues to maneuver through the northwest Bahamas, practically unnoticed. Most of the showers now backed off towards the west of Andros there, but there's some clouds associated with this system, and that will continue to spread into the central Bahamas later on today. Our forecast for today called for breezy conditions with periods of clouds and sunshine, 1 or 2 sporty showers likely, high temperature getting up to 82 degrees. And tonight, we are looking at partly cloudy and breezy conditions, 71 degrees for your low temperature. The extended weather forecast over the next 7 days, low 80s right through the cycle. We're going to pick up some 60s right into tomorrow. Things warm up a bit on Friday, but we'll go right back into the 60s over the weekend, and there's another frontal system heading our way sometime on Tuesday that will bring us yet another cool down heading into the middle part of next week. LaDawn?
Thanks a lot, Basil. That's it for us this morning. Make sure to tune into ZNS Network tomorrow at 7 a.m. for more Morning Edition. Once again, I'm LaDawn Davis. Have a great day.